The first thing the girl did after rebirth was to break the curse for her past life's family enemy. Even though the other party is an unscrupulous madman, Mikhail, who regained his power, regarded him as a benefactor, and promised to do anything for him. Litair, in his past life, because he failed to awaken water power for a long time, was sent to the altar by his relatives, just because the ancient scriptures stated that sacrificing one of the twins would allow the other to gain the complete water power. No one in the family stopped it, even his twin brother watched coldly as he went to his death. As the magic circle activated, Litair's heart seemed to die along with it. He had worked so hard for so many years, desiring to receive his family's love, but in the end, it was all for nothing. The resonance of the gold spirit stone. The family head was shocked. What is going on? At that very next moment, the gold spirit stone suddenly shattered. The ritual did not succeed. A young man rushed towards him in despair. When he woke up again, Litair thought it was a dream. He clearly had died. Yet now he was sitting intact in his bedroom. His younger brother burst in. Litair, how are you feeling? He wondered. Lyanxius, why are you here? The other party approached him, and sat directly on his bed. Of course, to check on your condition. But come to think of it, his eyes turned gloomy. Thanks to you, my schedule has been completely disrupted. Everything is a mess now. It's so troublesome. Litair looked at this familiar scene. 3 years ago, there was an assassin who wanted to kill Lyanxius. He was poisoned and fell into a coma for a long time while protecting him. Lien's schedule was terminated as a result. Could it be that he has returned to the past, since you find it so annoying? In that respect, we are mutual. Lyanxius Heim, rest assured, I will never do anything so unnecessary again. Lien was stunned. What happened to the person who was usually so obedient to him? Another person suddenly burst in. Lien, hurry, come out, father wants all the awakened ones to go over. The spirit stone just glowed. Lien got up immediately. Let's talk on the way. The person's eyes showed affection as he looked at him. In his past life, he was already used to such gazes. The only one who never awakened water power. The family's shame. The moment he was trapped, the gold spirit stone turned into fragments. Then some kind of aura was injected into his body. Maybe he has already awakened water power. Litair reached out his hand, striving to feel it. The energy in his body gathered in his palm. Pure water power appeared from his hand. Success. He didn't know if this was a curse or a blessing. But this time, he decided to abandon the Heim family. A carriage was moving through the forest. Young master, how are your eyes? The person being asked smiled, as if it wasn't him who was blind. Still, I can't see anything. The Heim family firmly believes that the assassination a few days ago was orchestrated by betrayal. Will they be willing to help you lift the curse? I don't know either, but only a water element awakened can lift my curse. So, I have to try. Suddenly they sense something. One curse is not enough. What have you prepared for me this time? Looks like I'll have to return this grand gift doubled. Then what if someone lifts the curse for you? He raised his hand. Dark power gushed from his hand. Then naturally, I will give them whatever they want. A kindness must be repaid. An enemy must be killed. This is Beersail's credo after all. The head of the Heim family received him. He didn't know about Mikhail's blindness. Just wondered why this god of war had come here. Sensing the other party's tension, he started joking. Why do you seem so afraid of me? The family head, provoked to anger, just say what you want. My eyes are blind. It's a curse that even a saintess cannot lift. It is said that only the Heim family's water element awakened can lift it. 147, so I hope you can help me. Seeing the other party asking for a favor, his face changed immediately. That's really difficult. Since it is such a powerful curse, that means the person who helps you break the curse might also lose their life. Instead of forcing others to help you break it, it's better to give them a chance to choose. How about you wait for a month, to see if anyone volunteers to help you break the curse? Such a response is almost equivalent to a refusal, but he needs their help now, so he has to concede. I understand. Then I will wait for news. Mikhail had already anticipated this result. Moreover, he doubted if anyone could actually break his curse. They were assigned to a remote place. Never mind that the other side was so neglectful they didn't even send a servant. On the way, they heard that Duke Heim had summoned water ability users. Mikhail ordered his subordinates to investigate the intelligence. Blindness did not affect his daily life, but because he couldn't see, he couldn't precisely use or adjust his power. Furthermore, the situation could deteriorate further. Suddenly, he sensed someone outside the door. Is it an intruder? He walked toward the person nonchalantly. I really detest night rats. Who are you? A female voice reached his ears. I am not an assassin, nor am I a water ability user sent by Duke Heim. He smelled a faint, elusive fragrance. Because he couldn't see, Mikhail's other senses were more acute. Unlike the fishy scent of water on Heim, it was a very fresh scent. This person was different from those of the Heim family. Why have you come to find me? Mikhail, Learthy, I can help you with the curse. But if I break your curse, what can I get from you? Mikhail recovered from his surprise. For some reason, he felt that this person might truly be able to break his curse. He took the girl's hand and promised everything. I can give you everything you want. His eyes were afflicted by a sevenfold curse. When he sought help from the Heim family, the only ones who could break the curse, he was ignored and even mocked. So, shortly after, Mikhail started a war, and almost destroyed the Heim family. This was what happened in Learthy's previous life. She was reborn back to 3 years ago, which happened to be the time Mikhail came to seek help for his eyes. Facing Learthy's question, Mikhail promised her, I can give you everything you want. She proposed observing the situation of the curse first. Mikhail smiled and said, as you wish. After all, you are the one who will break my curse. I have no reason not to cooperate. She reached out, then I am going to untie the ribbon. This way of untying it made it almost like he was hugging her. It's tied very tightly. My guard was afraid it would come loose, so it's tied quite tight. Actually, he could have cut it himself, but for some reason, he didn't want to tell her. After losing his sight, his senses became exceptionally acute. Her hands were very soft, and the wafts of fragrance kept stimulating his sense of smell. Mikhail's eyes were stained black by the curse. Patterns of magic arrays were arranged in his pupils. Learthy was stunned. This is black magic, and it's different from ordinary curses. It's composed of 7 layers of bindings. As time passes, the curse will become increasingly severe. Mikhail asked in wonder, how do you know that? Don't the people of Heim loathe ancient black magic? When Learthy was awakening her water power, she always wanted to receive the love of her family. In order to help her father and brothers, she leafed through ancient forbidden books. She didn't expect it would come in handy at this time. In any case, measures must be taken as soon as possible. Otherwise, you will lose your sight permanently. She reached out, and began to try to help him unlock the top layer of the bindings. The power within her gushed out. Although it was her first time truly using the power of water, she could control this power as she pleased. Mikhail felt a powerful force flowing into his body. Does the Heim family actually have such a powerful awakener? Soon, the first layer of the seal was broken. He felt his eyes become a bit more comfortable, but his sight had not yet been restored. Learthy explained, because if the seal is broken all at once, it would put a huge burden on the body, so I will help you unlock the rest bit by bit. Just as she was about to leave, Mikhail suddenly spoke, I will wait for you, although I don't know your name, but I am looking forward to our meeting tomorrow. Learthy nodded and opened the door to leave. After she had gone far away, Mikhail finally picked up the ribbon. For some reason, he suddenly felt a bit thirsty. In his previous life, the Heim family had lost most of their territory due to the war, and the person who took the territory was Mikhail. Forced into a predicament, the Heim family eventually chose to betray him, benefiting from his death, to make Lianius's power complete. Unfortunately, the true owner of the spirit was him, and not his younger brother. If the Heim family knew this fact, they would never let him go. According to imperial law, nobles of awakened families must live at home until they come of age. As long as he keeps this secret until then, he can successfully leave the family. Looking at Learthy, who was extremely cold to him, Lianius fell into confusion. When the girl's hand slightly touched his cheek, the boy's senses were amplified once again. It seemed as if, with a gentle pull, she would softly fall into his arms. Lianius regarded his sister as his own possession, and was certain that Learthy would never leave him voluntarily. So when the once gentle, dependent girl treated him with cold eyes, he broke down. Clearly, the aftermath of the poisoning had already disappeared, yet why was she still treating him this way? Lianius feigned concern, saying he was worried about her health, but Learthy tore off his hypocritical mask. True, After all, without me, you can't use your powers properly. These words hit Lianius right where it hurt. He held back his anger. What I mean is, you can go out more during the day. It must be stuffy staying in the room all the time. That's all I have to say. He didn't walk away immediately. Instead, he stood outside the door wondering why Lyretai had changed. Ever since she blocked the assassin for him, it was as if she had become a different person. Previously, she would only look at his expression and try to please him. At this moment, the eldest brother came looking for him. The spirit stone is brighter than it was yesterday. Starting from dawn, the spirit stone emitted a light as blinding as day, but he didn't feel anything from it at all. Lien couldn't help but wonder, this spirit stone, did it really change because of him? The second day of the agreement arrived. Lyretai appeared on time. As soon as she walked in, Mikhail greeted her with a smile. Hi. The girl took off her hat. Good evening. Mikhail, the verse man, felt dissatisfied. It's too distant for you to call me by my full name. Then should I call you Master Verse from now on? I want you to call me by my name. The girl was silent for a moment but then agreed. However, her tone remained indifferent. Mikhail didn't expect her to agree to such an unreasonable request. She agreed quite readily. Should I call her calm or clever? Soon, the second spell-breaking session began. He saw Mikhail clench his fists, so she placed her hand on his to comfort him. Trust me, I will definitely cure your eyes. When the girl's palm touched his cheek, Mikhail's senses were amplified infinitely once again. Her hand was so small and soft. It seemed as if, with a gentle pull, she would softly fall into his arms. And such a small person was actually comforting him. Although he had never been worried, the honorable verse would one day hear such words. Who would believe it? This was the first time he showed a sincere expression to the girl. Okay, I trust you. The second spell-breaking session ended successfully. When the girl asked how he felt, Mikhail just snapped out of his daze. He was surprised once again by the power of water. But what interested him was not just this power itself, but also Lyretai as a person. Because he couldn't see, it made the girl in his heart have an indescribable sense of mystery. Lyretai didn't leave immediately this time. Instead, she sat down beside him. That's good, I was worried it would hurt. She was actually worried about him. He was the notorious verse. Yet the girl treated him as gently as if he were a little lamb. Since losing his sight, Mikhail had never had such an urge to see someone with his own eyes. He was suddenly very curious. What kind of expression Lyretai had when she saw him? He reached out to her hair. I will definitely repay your kindness. When the curse on me is lifted, can you tell me your name? Lyretai was puzzled. You should have already investigated who I am, right? I have never investigated you, because I want to hear it from you personally. I have never heard of someone as strong as you, a water awakener in this world. I think you probably have reasons you must hide it, so unless you choose to tell me, otherwise, I will not inquire about anything regarding you without permission. Lyretai smiled. I promise. I will tell you before your eyes are fully recovered. While Mikhail became curious about her, Lyretai also felt he was an amazing existence. Before her rebirth, she only heard negative news about him, but seeing him in person, she found he was a gentle person. Could her rebirth have affected Mikhail too? Regardless, this was a good thing for her. Lyretai arrived at the library. There was a time when she often came here, because she wanted to avoid those who despised non-awakeners, her blood relatives. Until that thing happened, cannot think about it anymore. She had to find books about the power of water quickly, because the deeper the curse, the more complex the way to lift it. Suddenly realizing someone was behind her, it was Huimenheim. She and Lien had 3 brothers. The eldest brother, Aiying, the second brother, Tyrun, and the third brother, Huimen. Huimen was close to her age, so they were often together during childhood. He was a cautious person who loved to read. But one day, Huimen suddenly started collecting forbidden books without their father knowing. At first, she didn't have any thoughts about it. She was just curious and followed Huimen to read those books. Later, while flipping through those books, it was just to know how, without the power of water, to help the family. However, this secret didn't last long. Their father discovered them. Under the Duke's stern interrogation, Huimen pushed all the responsibility onto her. Those ancient books are Lyretai's. Back then, because she was young, she didn't have the money or power to collect these ancient books, even knowing the truth. Their father still punished her severely. Liar Tai would rather he had beaten her, but he insisted on using his water power to punish her, leaving a huge shadow on her. From then on, she began to distance herself from Huimin, even though he always tried to talk to her, just like now. The man asked her awkwardly if she was okay now. Huimin, what nerve do you have to ask me that? Before her rebirth, she was afraid of Huimin because of the Forbidden Book incident, but she didn't feel anything now. It turns out death can change a person so much. Huimin still wanted to say something, but she interrupted him. I don't have time to deal with you right now. Liar Tai, I have always wanted to apologize for what happened when we were kids, because I was really worried about you. You were only doing it for yourself, to alleviate your own guilt, just to make yourself feel better. After all, given your personality, you could never tolerate being a bad person, just like that day, pretending to be a good child in front of father, and throwing all the blame onto me. Now that it's come to this, you don't need to apologize anymore. Besides, I won't accept it anyway. In a rush, Gray grabbed him, only to be shoved away forcefully. Go back to being your obedient child, hypocrite. Meanwhile, on Maiho's side, his guards hadn't been able to complete the task these past few days. He only found out that the elves had awakened. Thinking about his young master's personality, he expected him to order a reinvestigation. Unexpectedly, the other party accepted it readily this time. You've worked hard. Regarding the elves, I can write a letter to ask my father. The guard only thought that the curse didn't just make his young master lose his power, but also his intelligence, and he seemed quite happy about it. You seem to be in a good mood. Maiho's voice was full of expectation. Yes, a day has already passed. He should be coming soon. The guard immediately realized he should leave. Unfortunately, Maiho, waiting for the girl with joy, did not get the person he was waiting for. Instead, a group of assassins arrived. He grabbed his dagger. Haim couldn't attack him so blatantly. It could only be sent by the person who blinded him. Although he could easily solve it with his ability, Duke Haim would certainly be furious. He had to take care of this group quietly. Who exactly is the mastermind behind these guys? The Haim family's security isn't easy to infiltrate. Yet these people broke in here. Could they be trying to see Haim and Bilsame? Suddenly, the sound of the door opening rang out. Maiho? The girl's voice was full of doubt. He leaned back. The door closed again. You really came at a bad time. Sorry, please wait for me outside for a moment. Some trash needs to be cleaned up. As soon as he finished speaking, he was stunned. All the assassins were standing still, unable to move. It was Liar Tai. A vast force of water surged from her. Maiho's eyes finally recovered their sight. He was struck by Liar Tai's beauty. His flushed face turned to the side, trying to hide his confusion. But the seemingly delicate girl had just dealt with a large group of assassins a moment ago. She just lifted her hand gently, and all the enemies were frozen in place. The girl worriedly asked if Maiho was alright. He took off the blindfold with a bit of embarrassment. I'm fine, but didn't I tell you to wait outside? Liar Tai poked her head out. But I couldn't just watch you be in danger. He suddenly noticed something. Wait, your face seems to be scratched. After we settle this, I'll treat your chin. Maiho, who was already in a fighting state, was in a state of extreme excitement. The sudden physical contact, coupled with the girl's concerned tone, made him feel like he was soaking in hot water. He covered his face. His heart was beating uncontrollably. Maiho didn't want to get the girl's hands dirty, so he told her to step back and let him handle it. Suddenly, the assassins' bodies started to disintegrate. Right before their eyes, they turned into skeletons. Maiho thought it was the girl's doing, but she had only frozen them. There was no magic detected around the skeletons. Could it be a curse? Maiho apologized to her. As for what exactly happened, he would have his guards investigate. Since the danger was gone, Liar Tai suggested continuing to break the curse. He nodded. The two began another round of treatment. Several days passed in a flash. Only 2 layers of the curse remained. Liar Tai, for the first time, felt it was a bit difficult. It also took much longer than before. Maiho's eyes could actually see the shape and color of objects now. Soon, Duke Haim would hold a hunting festival. He even invited him, a blind man. The motive was obvious. If you don't show your strength, they really take you for a weakling. He would eventually trample the Haim family under his feet. As the 6th layer of the curse was lifted, Maiho's vision became increasingly clear. The girl leaned toward him. Can you see me? Then he saw a sight he would never forget in his life. Liar Tai's eyes seemed to hold the starry sky. The girl was shining in his eyes. Seeing his dazed expression, Liar Tai thought the curse breaking hadn't succeeded. She got even closer to him. I wanted to break the curse completely for you this time. How is it now? Michael shyly covered his face. He started to stutter. I can see very clearly. He didn't expect his emotions to be so turbulent. In any case, I'm glad. The first person I saw after the curse was lifted is you. And thank you. Bill Same will never forget this kindness. From now on, you are the benefactor of our entire family. Although there is one last layer of the curse left, I believe you will lift it perfectly soon. Just like when we first met. The promise I made to you. I will fulfill everything you want. What do you want? Liar Tai was stunned. She didn't want to repeat the cycle of her previous life. Although it's hard to achieve on her own, with Michael's assistance, it's not impossible. She formally introduced herself to Michael. My name is Liar Tai Heim. I only want one thing, and that is to leave the Heim family. Upon learning that the girl wanted to leave the family, Michael couldn't wait to take her away immediately. She introduced herself excitedly. As you know, I am the heir of the Bilsame family. My father is Duke Bilsame. Halfway through, he realized the girl was spacing out. It seems like I've been the only one talking. Can you tell me about yourself? Have you come back to your senses? My name is Liar Tai. I already know that. I mean, do you have any things you like or dislike? Things I like. Probably animals. Then do you like birds? She actually didn't know what she liked herself. Since she was young, she was never allowed to have any hobbies. She didn't even know what she disliked. How about this? Mikhail. Suddenly, a few snow-white birds appeared and started flying around. These are Bilse's messenger birds. Do you like them? Soft, adorable birds landed on his shoulders. Without realizing it, his mood began to improve. I love seeing him regain his spirit. Mikhail smiled along with him. So, when do you plan to leave the Heim family? If you want to, you can do it now. His eyes have already recovered. Leaving would be effortless for Liartai. Mikhail, I'm not of age yet. Minors cannot leave their noble houses. If I leave Heim, they will use imperial law as an excuse to drag me back. If I'm not careful, Bilse might become the laughingstock of the entire empire. Don't give me that, so what? Look. Mikhail is unhappy. He is leaving after the hunting tournament. He doesn't want to leave Liartai alone here. But since he said it isn't convenient to leave now, he will respect his choice. Then I will consider your departure date as the day you come of age. Liartai replied, all right. I will wait for that day to come. Ever since Liartai stopped giving his younger brother a good look, Lianius was always thinking about him. He even went to ask Liartai's maid, where did he go? Hasn't he looked for me lately? All he got from the maid was that he never mentioned him. He would soon be of age. Father mentioned looking for a partner for him. The eldest brother brought out a letter. It was sent by the crown prince. In a few days, he will bring his sister to visit the Heim family. It seems he wants you to get engaged to Princess Ninian. Lien said coldly, I don't have anyone I like. Ninian is a decent choice, though. The princess has liked him since she was a child, and she is easy to control. However, compared to Ninian, Liartai Heim is even easier for him to control. But now, he feels he is more like a stranger and distant than anyone else. Lianius's mind was full of Liartai. Damn it, what exactly went wrong? Duke Heim decided to host the crown prince on the day of the hunting tournament. The hunt is held during the day, and a grand banquet is held at night. The next day, Liartai's second brother returned. He is particularly special among the awakeners of the Heim family. Because he hates the Heim family's black hair, he permanently changed his hair color, and he volunteered to be the princess's advisor. He came back because he heard the spirit beast business had changed. When the two arrived at the temple, they found that the changes here were even greater. Even if it's not a beast they summoned themselves, people of the Heim family can still control it. Now, this water that almost fills the room, they were completely unable to control. Just then, the spirit unleashed an even more ferocious power. A figure appeared inside the red. It was a blue-haired boy. Upon discovering that the person he expected wasn't there, he flew into a rage. Who are you? Where is the person who awakened me? Waking up, the boy was angry because he didn't see his contractor. They had never felt such terrifying pressure. Only monsters or gods could possibly possess it. Ein asked with a trembling voice, who are you? How dare you question me first? Such insolence. Both were swept into the air by him. I am the 10th weapon of the main god, Riyadh, and also the first contractor of Eorn. Turion was shocked. Eorn was the first head of the Heim family. In your terms, I am the one known as the Spirit King. I'll ask you again, where is the person who awakened me? Rain immediately shouted, that child is outside. Do you want me to bring him in immediately? Unfortunately, he had just woken up and couldn't sustain it for long, so he requested that they bring the person to see him in 3 days, which was the day after the hunting tournament. After the Duke of Heim received the news, he ordered everyone to keep the Spirit King's awakening a secret. He did not intend to let Bill say no. On the day of the hunting tournament, Mikhail arrived as promised, but he was still wearing an eye mask. Lianius was pulling Leartai aside, talking about something, making him hold his things. This made Mikhail extremely unhappy. The Duke of Heim appeared, hypocritically asking how he was doing. Excellent. I think this will be a pleasant hunt. The other party clearly thought he couldn't see, and mocked him by saying, hope you enjoy yourself. Mikhail only felt it was laughable. The Duke of Heim's intention was obvious. Let him stand there like a puppet and be humiliated today. For Mikhail, it wasn't hard to go along with it, but Lianius grabbing Leartai made him feel very annoyed. That makes it a different matter. Leartai managed to escape from his brother's side with difficulty. Recently, Lianius has become very strange. Before his rebirth, he hadn't participated in the hunting tournament, nor had he said those things to him. What prey do you want? I'll catch it for you. He just answered that he didn't want anything. Lien kept grabbing him, not letting go. Then think of something. Helplessly, he said, then catch me a live silver fox. Silver foxes are not easy to catch. And when Lien heard that, he actually smiled, and even promised he would definitely do it. If it were Lien before the rebirth, he might have been happy, but now, he only felt annoyed. A familiar voice came from behind Leartai. He turned his head to look. Mikhail was standing not far away, smiling at him. The appearance of this person strangely soothed his restless heart. Mikhail walked to his side and sat down casually. How did you know I was here? Intuition told me I could meet you here. But actually, he had tracked the scent on Leartai to find him. Just staying by his side made him feel very good. Leartai asked if his eyes had recovered well, and he pointed to his wrist. It was the bruise left by Lianius earlier. What about you? It must hurt a lot here. It's nothing, I'm used to it. Don't get used to things like this. Lilta, I hope you don't get used to the feeling of pain. This is the first time someone has said that to him, so much so that he had no idea how to react. He could only awkwardly change the subject. Why did you come to find me? Of course, it's because I wanted to see you. In his past life, his family didn't even consider him a non-awakened one, as a human being. But Mikhail was actually able to find him in the vast forest, and comfort him like this. This feeling of being cared for is really nice. I'm also glad you came to find me. Yet Mikhail, who was the one who first actively flirted with her, blushed because of that bright smile. He wanted to ask her to dance in front of his rival, and provoke this man time and again. Lianxus held impure feelings for his sister, and Mikhail noticed it the moment he saw him, but he didn't make a scene. He just went to find Lilta, who was alone, and asked if he would be attending the banquet. Lianxus had reminded him to go to the banquet. He had wanted to avoid it, but if it were Mikhail inviting him, if you go. Mikhail was so happy that it was perfect. I would like to share a dance with you, but I don't know how to dance. It doesn't matter. I will teach you. Then I'll see you at the banquet, Lilta. Lianxus was searching for a silver fox in the forest. He heard a faint rustling sound in the distance. When he walked over, he saw a tuft of silver fur on the ground. When he heard he was going to hunt a silver fox, his brothers were surprised, because silver foxes were almost extinct, but in order to please Lilta, he had to catch a silver fox. Perhaps then he would return to how he used to be. The rustling sound came from the distance again. He followed the sound. Maybe he was lucky. He actually encountered a silver fox. Just as he tried to get closer, a gunshot suddenly rang out. He panicked instantly, because he had promised to catch it for Lilta. Fortunately, the silver fox just fainted, but someone had gotten there first. He glared at the person who arrived. What do you mean by this? Mikhail picked up the silver fox. What else could I mean? Lianxus Heim, with normal abilities, is actually not even as good as someone like me who went blind due to a curse. Next time, you better be faster. Otherwise, you might get beaten to it by me again. As the banquet neared, Lilta sat by the bed. Beside him was the gown Lianxus had given him. In his past life, he had never worn a gown to a banquet. Too many things had changed since his rebirth. Long hair that couldn't be cut short, outdated gray dress, and this young, immature face. It's really laughable. If it were his former self, he would have had no attachment to life. But in this life, he also wants to write a good future for himself. The banquet after the hunting competition is about to begin. The princess arrived early at the duke's estate. She took Lian's arm. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Lian greeted her like a gentleman. Greetings, Your Highness the Princess. And thank you for your visit, Your Highness the Crown Prince. Soon, the banquet began. Lian was responsible for hosting the princess and the crown prince. Soon after, his brothers arrived. The crown prince looked at Ain. I heard there was a hunting competition earlier today. Yes, the competition ended smoothly. The crown prince could tell at a glance that he was hiding something. Did something happen? He began looking for Lilta. Because it was the crown prince who turned Mikhail into what he is now. And the real reason he came here was to prevent Haim from healing Lilta. Seeing Mikhail still blindfolded, leaning aside alone and not socializing, he breathed a sigh of relief. It seems the curse is still there. After all, he had gone to great lengths to cast such a severe curse on him. Brother, what are you thinking about? Nothing, just thinking that getting engaged to you is truly a hardship for Lord Lian. The princess leaned close to her brother, whispering, Lian seems to be in a bad mood today. I just asked if his twin sister would be coming. His expression turned very unpleasant. Doesn't Lord Lian's sister look a lot like him? And isn't she also beautiful? Even the crown prince knew. Exactly because of this, Duke Haim hates this daughter. She looks just like his most favorite successor, but is an abilityless person. Just then, the venue suddenly became chaotic. Someone was slowly walking down the stairs. It was Lilta, dressed up in a grand gown. The Duke looked stunned. Ain was mumbling, Mother. Lilta said, Apologies. I'm late. The princess exclaimed, She's so beautiful, but she doesn't look like Lord Lian at all. Hui Min was also surprised. It's my first time seeing her wear this kind of dress. Yes, and her manners are just like a perfect noble lady. Lianxus felt Lilta's change once again. Before, he obviously liked to hide and suppress himself. Even if he wasn't treated well, he would still follow him due to a longing for connection. That appearance of trying so hard to fit into the family instead made everyone find him laughable, thus being even colder to him. But now, why is he looking at me with such icy eyes? Why on earth? Lian wanted to know why Lilta had changed. He reached out to invite her, wanting to dance the first dance with her, but was interrupted. Mikhail stood in the way. May I have a dance with you? Looking at the man in front, Lianxus recalled what happened in the forest. Next time, you better be faster. Otherwise, you might get beaten to it by me again. His sister didn't want him anymore. When Lianxus realized this, Lilta had already chosen someone else. The bird with broken wings finds its flesh again, shaking off the shackles that bound it for a lifetime. Gucci Central. Mikhail generously praised him for looking beautiful today. Liltai replied that you look the same. He sensed a strong gaze. The crown prince was standing not far away, looking at him and Mikhail with a strange smile. Before being reborn, Liltai had been exposed to ancient power mimicry drugs. The assassin who broke into the Haim family. Mikhail, who lost his power due to a curse. An ancient magic that could turn people into dust. All required the use of ancient powers only available to the royal family. Could the mastermind behind everything be the royal family? Then the crown prince came here today. Was it to confirm if the curse on Mikhail is still intact? He looked at his dance partner, Mikhail, with concern. Can you dance in front of everyone like this? The culprit who cursed you is right here, isn't he? Me. Kale had intended to tell him after everything was resolved. He didn't expect him to be so clever and discover it first. It doesn't matter, anyway, the other party is convinced I still can't see. Compared to this matter, Liltai, come to valse after you come of age. Watching the two intimate people on the dance floor, Lian gripped his fists in anger. He would never let Liltai leave Haim. Once he comes of age, he will take the position of duke. By then, he can keep Liltai tied by his side forever. As the song ended, the princess took Lian's arm. His brother and the Duke of Haim were discussing the marriage between the two. Just as the crown prince said he would send the engagement documents, Lian suddenly spoke out in opposition. The expressions of both changed instantly. The Duke was about to scold his son, when he heard him say, "I want to reach adulthood before getting engaged." The shrewd Crown Prince did not get angry. Instead, he helped him out. "I understand what you mean. After all, an engagement decided before adulthood is not secure. It seems, Duke, your son is a sincere and cautious person." The princess thought Lien valued her, but in fact, he just wanted to ascend to the Duke's position as soon as possible, to imprison Liltai in the house forever. After the banquet ended, Liltai came to the music room alone. This was where the Duke used to discipline him. For any small matter, he would be tied up and beaten. Just like now, the Duke called him here again, just because he danced with Valse, and demanded an explanation. "What do I need to explain? Is there any problem with dancing with him?" The Duke was stunned, and began to scold and curse. "Don't you know that I hate Valse? You did this on purpose to express your rebellion, didn't you? Don't think I'll feel bad for you. You are not from our Heim family. I never considered you a daughter." These words could no longer hurt him. "That's great. I don't consider you a father either." This was definitely not something Liltai could have said. After all, he had always tried his best since childhood, to become a part of the Heim family. "Do you know what you're saying?" "Of course. Just as you have repeatedly emphasized, I am not from the Heim family, yet you demand I fulfill the Heim family's duties, to stay away from Valse." He smiled sarcastically. "Don't you think it's contradictory?" The Duke was dumbfounded. "You know where this is, and yet you dare to say such things." How could he not know? This is the Duchess's favorite music room, and also his training ground. Even though he was born at the same time as Lien Hughes, the Duke blamed his mother's death entirely on him, just because he is not an awakener. But after giving birth to 3 sons, the physically exhausted Duchess still stubbornly wanted to give birth to him and Lien. This caused her to pass away after childbirth. Does revenge for mother causing her to die in childbirth count as the mother's own wish? If you have finished speaking, I will be leaving. The Duke stood there for a long time without moving. His wife had instructed him before she passed away, to take good care of their daughter, but he broke his promise, and blindly blamed everything on Liltai. He is not a member of the Heim family, and would never become an awakener. Late at night, as the coldness of the night dispersed, the last curse on Mikhail was lifted. He keenly sensed the girl's low mood, and started to ask. Liltai looked down and avoided his gaze. "I went to the training room this afternoon." Mikhail's eyes wandered. He relaxed after finding no injuries on him. However, Liltai seemed not to want to discuss this topic. He decided not to press for an answer to avoid making him uncomfortable. The big guy clumsily tried to comfort the girl he loved. Participating in the banquet must have been exhausting. "Are you tired? If you're tired, rest by leaning on me." But the girl looked blank. Was he going to be ignored again? He didn't expect Liltai to throw himself into his arms the next moment. Oh no, his heart felt like it was about to explode. He had taken the initiative to comfort the girl and asked for a hug, but when she actually threw herself into his arms, he was the one who was too shy and his heart was about to burst. Mikhail's face turned beet red. A girl's voice came from his arms. "Do you know, I told the Duke of Heim that I never considered him as family. Am I doing the right thing?" He didn't expect Liltai to open his heart to him voluntarily. Since that was the case, he held the girl's small frame in his arms. "You did very well. Don't bother trying to please those who don't respect you. By the way, Liltai, may I ask, what did those guys do to you?" The girl was stunned, not knowing where to begin. If it started from the very beginning, it was when he was very young, being dumped in a remote mountain. Besides enough food, they didn't leave him anything. He had always lived alone. Although the Heim family didn't kill him, they dumped him where he couldn't be seen, to fend for himself. A long time later, they finally brought him back, because they needed him to strengthen Lien Hughes's power. If it weren't for this reason, he would probably have lived there for his entire life. Lyroot was clearly talking about his own affairs, but it was as if he were talking about someone else. There were no ripples in his eyes. "Perhaps it would be better if I just stayed in the mountains alone. After all, living in groundless punishment and anger, and being ignored and mocked is truly too painful. Even so, I have always worked hard to win my family's love. For me, it doesn't matter even if I'm being used. As long as I can be a member of the Heim family, it's enough. But now I don't care anymore." Mikhail whispered his name softly, and then held him tightly. Perhaps at the beginning, he only approached him out of curiosity. Now, He truly wishes from the bottom of his heart for Lyrut to be happy. I will definitely help you get away from the Heim family. Lyrut is still unfamiliar with such emotions, but he seems to have found comfort. Thank you, Mikhail. The man suddenly remembered something. After leaving here, is there anything you want to do? He thought about it and realized he actually did. I want to see the ocean once before I die. Mikhail pinched his little face in frustration. Dummy. Is your wish just such a small thing? I will help you achieve it. I swear by the name of Birsa. I will definitely come to pick you up on your coming-of-age day. One day, it was time for the Heim family to pay respects to the Spirit King. Ain opened the gate. They walked into the sanctuary with nervous hearts. Duke Heim didn't expect the Spirit King's power to be so immense. Ain said they had brought the master of the Spirit Stone. The Spirit King slowly opened his eyes, looking at Leancius. You mean this guy is the one who woke me up? Before Duke Heim could answer, his figure suddenly shattered. The Spirit King was furious. What absolute nonsense. This guy is an imposter. The whole land was shaking violently. The one who woke me up wasn't him. How dare you bring an imposter to fool me? Lightning filled the surroundings. A huge amount of energy condensed in his hand. I will kill you all. It turns out the master the Spirit King has been looking for is actually Lyrut. He is the reincarnation of the first head of the Heim family, Bjorn. The Spirit King who couldn't find his master after waking up, was so angry he wanted to kill everyone. After the Duke pleaded that he didn't intentionally bring an imposter, he decided to give them another chance, saying the person he's looking for is in the Duke's mansion. Duke Heim didn't understand. The family's strongest, Lien, wasn't the master of the Spirit Stone. Who else could it be? Just at this moment, someone came to report that Birsa was leaving. It hadn't been the promised 1 month yet. The advisor was curious why he was leaving early. Mikhail, holding the white fox, said since the curse was lifted, he had to return, to prepare early to welcome Lyrut. Someone walked from not far away. I'm here to see you off. It was Leancius. Mikhail still smiling. Young Master Lien, thanks to the Heim family's care, every day I spent here was fulfilling. Seeing him holding a white fox in his arms, Lien had a smirk. Are you taking this too? Of course. Whatever belongs to me, I will definitely take it all away. This suggestive response made Lien frown. Mikhail said goodbye to him leisurely. See you next time, young Master Lien. Well, I don't think there will be a next time. Not only for me, my sister won't have it either. Mikhail turned to him. The Heim family will definitely see me again. Time flew by. Mikhail had been gone for several months. During this time, Lien moved his room to here. And he also always came without invitation. What do you want now? You are my only sister. Do I need a reason to come to your room? We are about to hold the coming-of-age ceremony. Is there anything you want? That's your coming-of-age ceremony. Why are you asking about what I want? Can you stop acting like you are about to leave? Staring out the window all day long. My mood is always terrible whenever I see you like this. Seeing Lyrut not answering, he leaned in. Could it be that you really want to leave the Heim family? Unfortunately, that's impossible. You are born as a person of Heim, and you die as a spirit of Heim. Lyrut clenched his fists, remembering what Mikhail said to him. You're wrong, Leancius. I will never repeat the same life again. The imperial princess was looking for Turayan in the palace. Where did you go? The next second, the man appeared in front of her. Were you looking for me? Why do you always turn invisible without a word? Turayan coaxed the princess. Suddenly noticed in front. The crown prince was followed by a strange person. Before the princess could finish speaking, Turayan disappeared once again. The crown prince and that person arrived at the deepest part of the palace basement. 129, where half of the Spirit King, passed down through generations of the royal family, was hidden. Hiding the half-elf king inherited by the royal family for generations. If he could be made whole, he would be able to obtain all his power. In this way, he could possess absolute imperial power, and no longer be controlled by those awakened ones. He asked for a bottle from the attendant. The royal family has a special ability. The awakened one's powers and curses are ineffective against him who possesses Zimu. He collected the black powder produced from the Spirit King's body. As long as any living organism comes into contact with this powder, they will lose their sanity and go crazy. After the two left, Turayan revealed his figure. Unexpectedly, the crown prince had hidden another Spirit King. On the day of the coming-of-age ceremony, the Heim family still hasn't found the master of the Spirit Stone. They brought all the awakened ones of the Heim family there. Still, none of them were a match. Turion didn't feel from the royal spirit king the same powerful energy as the water spirit. He originally wanted to come back to probe for information. Lien asked suddenly, "What will you do after Riel-Tai comes of age? What are your plans?" Ein was surprised. Recently, Lien hasn't been paying much attention to Riel-Tai. The duke's face darkened. "After the coming-of-age ceremony is complete, that child will have no use. So I plan to have him leave the family." "No, please keep Riel-Tai in the family." "But according to the law, if Riel-Tai asks to leave voluntarily after coming of age, we have no right to keep him." "But you were the one who said Riel-Tai was my possession. Now you say he has rights." Ein was even more confused by his reaction. Turion sat down indifferently. "If he insists on leaving, why not cripple him so he can't leave? Lien, you just need to break his wings, so he can't fly out of here." Late at night, Riel-Tai appeared alone near the temple. He wanted to confirm something before leaving. "I heard all the Awakeners have come here recently. Something must have happened." Just as he reached the outside of the temple, the gate opened automatically. Inside the empty temple, a boy was floating in the middle. Riel-Tai realized that the man he saw in his previous life. At the very last moment, it seemed the other party suddenly opened his eyes. A familiar feeling surged in his heart again. The boy reached out and lunged toward Riel-Tai. His voice was full of joy. "You have finally come, my master." Facing the Spirit King who called him master, he looked confused. "I don't remember signing a contract with you. We have indeed made a connection." He just touched the girl's hand lightly. The next moment, a magic seal appeared on it. "This is a mark I carved into your soul. Even if you are reincarnated, I can recognize you by it. We promised back then that we would meet again, Riel-Tai. You are the reincarnation of the first family head, Urin." The boy grabbed his hand again. This time, he read Riel-Tai's memories. "The other members of this family deserve to die. They actually failed to recognize my true master, and instead focused their energy on a fake. It's truly detestable. Riel-Tai, as long as you want, I can not only kill everyone in the Heim family immediately, but I can also make the entire empire turn to dust." Seeing that he wasn't joking, Riel-Tai hurriedly refused. "No, those guys aren't worth it, and I'm leaving soon anyway. It seems you're going to Bilsei. Although I want to leave with you very much. A long time ago, I split a Spirit King into two, and sealed them separately. If I leave here, that seal will loosen." Riel-Tai asked about the seal. Just then, a conversation was heard outside. He shouldn't be discovered, so he had to leave the Spirit King and bid farewell. "When the time actually comes, I will tell you about this in detail. Although I can't stay by your side now, I will always pray for your happiness." Although he acted relaxed in front of the girl, his heart was filled with raging fury. These guys from Heim, they have no idea what they have pushed away with their own hands. On the day of the coming-of-age ceremony, Lien Xiu's forced Riel-Tai to attend the banquet. Asked, "How come he came too? We are twins. Of course he has to come. After all, my coming-of-age ceremony is his too. But do you have to treat him like that? He's not a criminal. Why monitor him? Who told him to always let his imagination run wild? But this is a bit too much. As family, how can you? You're really good at making jokes. Hui Ming Heim. When have you ever seen Riel-Tai as family?" The oppressive feeling from Lien made Hui Ming timid. He corrected himself and apologized, saying he spoke the wrong words. He ran away without looking back. Lien looked toward Riel-Tai. Among the crowd, his figure looked even more lonely. "That's right, he should be like this. Staying in the shadows like a shadow, and then longing for me like one craves the light." The princess stepped forward to congratulate him on his coming of age. He smiled and apologized. The girl was looking forward to their engagement ceremony. Lien's mind was full of Riel-Tai. The two locked eyes. "He's really patient, monitoring me the whole time, and even sending people to follow me under the guise of protecting me. Today is also his coming-of-age day. The promise with Michael is today." Just at this moment, a guard reported, "An uninvited carriage has arrived outside. It seems to be from the Bilsei family." As soon as he finished speaking, two people walked in from the door. They went straight to the center of the banquet. Michael arrived as promised. "Luckily, the banquet hasn't ended yet. It seems I didn't arrive too late." Although there were only two of them, their intense presence made everyone present become defensive. The crown prince was shocked. "There's no ribbon on his eyes. Could it be that the curse on his body has been lifted? Duke Haim stepped forward to rebuke Michael. Bilsei has trespassed into the Haim mansion. What exactly do you want to do? I'm just here to take what belongs to me. Lien Xiao sensed something was wrong. Sure enough, he saw him turn to his sister. I've come to fulfill my promise. Riel Tai, let's go to Bilsei together. Sorry, I'm late. Let's go see the sea together, he said, while ignoring everyone to walk to the girl. Who is? A water screen blocked the two. Lien activated the power of water. Do you think I'll let you take him away? You dare to touch my possession? I'll kill you. Water condensed into spikes pointing toward Michael. Just as it approached him, a stronger water screen deflected all attacks. Where did such strong power come from? Lien was stunned. Riel Tai was covered in water. He revealed himself for the first time in front of everyone. Enough is enough. Lien Xiao's face turned dark. Contrary to him, Mikhail, protected by the girl, looked smug. Who knew Lil Tai bypassed him? Wait, where are you going? Before heading to Bilset, I still have things to do. He let go of the girl's hand. Under the gazes of the people, Lil Tai walked forward, finally stopping in front of Duke Haim. The other party was panicked, wondering what that power was. Duke Haim, I am cutting ties with the Haim family today. Now that I am of age, you have no right to interfere with my life anymore. Counting the time before I was reborn, I was trapped in this hell for 21 years. Now, it's all over. Let's go to Bilset. Mikhail took her hand. Under everyone's gaze, the two left the banquet just like that. The light returned to Lilti's eyes. The carriage traveled through the forest. When they left the Haim estate, they were pestered by those guys. Duke Haim was practically begging on his knees. Those guys aren't worthy of having Lil Tai. She is not an accessory to anyone. How amazing, the girl's voice brought Mikhail back to reality. I actually left the Haim estate. He touched the hair beside the girl's ear. Only then did Lil Tai turn her attention to him. I will make you forget all the unease you experienced at Haim. You just need to stay by my side. The carriage stopped. He smiled radiantly. Lil Tai, are you ready? The girl nodded. She finally saw the ocean she had longed for countless times. The sunset glow shone silently on the sea. The sea breeze brushed softly against her face. She was finally free. Until the sun went down, Lil Tai still gazed at the sea, reluctant to leave. It's already dark. Do you like it that much? The sea is wider and more beautiful than I saw in books. I really like it. Thank you, Mikhail. It's so good to have met you. The man's face turned red instantly. He turned his head away shyly, but a moment later, he composed himself and walked to the girl's side. Lil Tai, I really missed you after returning to Bilset. The girl reached out her hand to him. I missed you too. He took Lilti's hand and pressed it against himself. Then let's always be together from now on. And next time, and the time after that, we will come to see the sea together again. In contrast to the atmosphere between the two, the inside of the Haim estate was a mess. Liancia sat on the ground, decadent. He couldn't figure out where things went wrong. From the moment that guy appeared, when he took away the silver fox, he should have realized something was wrong. When he invited Lil Tai to dance at Bilset, he should have driven that man away. Lien was filled with deep regret. Footsteps stopped in front of him. It was Duke Haim. This coming-of-age ceremony should have been Haim's grandest day. I didn't expect it to end up like this. Lien, did you see Lilti's water magic? I have never seen such powerful water magic. After saying that, he turned around. Follow me. I want to know what exactly happened to the Haim family. They arrived at the temple where the spirit stone was kept. It seems that Yulian's successor has left. A bunch of fools. I wish I could tear you all to pieces. Duke Haim begged, please, give us some guidance. What is going on with the owner of the spirit stone? How do you interpret Yulian's last words? The Duke replied, one day, the true owner of the spirit stone will appear, to awaken the spirits and revive the family. Wrong. Now let me tell you, when the first family head, Yulian, was alive, the gates of the spirit stone were always open. Spirits could freely enter the human world. Humans who signed contracts with spirits could obtain a portion of the spirit's power. These people are called spirit masters. Occasionally, special humans appear. They can sign contracts with the spirit king. These people are called awakened ones. At that time, humans and spirits had a very friendly relationship, until a spirit king fell. The gate to the spirit realm was closed from then on. Tryon suddenly remembered. The spirit king hidden away by the royal family. Afterwards, all spirits returned to their own world. The awakened ones naturally lost their power too. The reason the Heim family possessed power was thanks to Yulian, the first head you all praise so much, was someone who, until his 17th birthday ceremony, had never become a spirit master, just like Lil Tai, whom you all persecuted so much. Duke Heim looked terrified. Could it be? That's right. How does it feel to have kicked out the first family head you all worship, and the heir you all assumed was trash who lived by draining his mother's life force before he was even born? After birth, you started draining Lilti's power again. From now on, I will no longer allow you to use any power. Without Lil Tai, you will never get water magic from me. Duke Heim laughed like a madman. He only realized at this moment how wrong he was. They had to find Lil Tai. The disciple brought a girl home for the first time. Dad has even thought of the grandchild's name. The son looks so lovesick. He basically has, "I like Lil Tai," written all over his face. The girl finally left the Heim family. Mikhail called her name softly, "Lil Tai. Wake up, we're here." He looked out the window. Is this the legendary Bilset? Mikhail reminded her, "Wake up, right here." What did he want to say? A hearty voice came, "I've been waiting for ages. Finally, I've waited for you to return. Welcome to Bilset." He is Mikhail's father, Karaman. "My father said he wanted to welcome you personally. Sorry for not telling you sooner." Lil Tai bowed cautiously, and thanked the other party for the hospitality. Mikhail leaned in, "You don't have to be so nervous." "Exactly. We are the ones who should be showing gratitude and appreciation. Thank you for healing the eyes of the Belsa family's only heir. I heard my son owes you a great debt of gratitude." The other person's kindness made him feel at ease. "You are too kind. Hal has also helped me a lot." Calman likes this girl more and more the more he looks at her. Everything his son is thinking is written all over his face. "You must be exhausted from the journey. Let's go inside. I have prepared some things especially for you. A spacious and bright room. Everything is well equipped." You can tell the host put in some effort. After the Duke escorted him here, he pushed his reluctant son away, telling him to wait in the room. A knock on the door sounded. A maid, after receiving his permission, entered the room. "My name is Mirlin. I will be serving you from now on." Lieltai had heard this name before. When Belsa attacked the royal family and the Heim family in her past life, she single-handedly took down hundreds of people. As a former assassin, why would she be here to serve her? She soon got her answer. Mirlin explained that she was here to protect her personal safety. "I guarantee that no one is better at this than me." The master also saw this point, which is why he sent me to take care of you. "So that's how it is. Then I'll be counting on you. Let me help you change into some clothes first. Then I will take you to the courtyard where the master is." By this time, the father and son were already waiting in the garden. Watching his son wag his tail like a puppy, the Duke sighed and strode away. "Isn't everyone like this? Father, your answer is truly shameless." Footsteps approached. Michael looked stunned in admiration. Lieltai was wearing a blue and white dress. She greeted him gracefully, "Sorry I'm late." The puppy was full of happy bubbles, looking completely infatuated. The father couldn't watch anymore. "Son, you should invite Lieltai to sit down first." Because he didn't know what flavors she liked, Michael prepared a little bit of everything. But the girl sat still for a long time. "Is there nothing you like to eat?" She hesitated and said, "It's not that, this is my first time seeing these foods, so I don't know how to eat them. I hope you can teach me." Michael looked at her with eyes full of tenderness and pity. But the next moment he smiled. "No matter what it is, you can learn it slowly. I will be by your side to tell you everything one by one, so you don't have to worry. This is cake. It's soft and sweet." He cut a piece and brought it to the girl's lips. Lieltai opened her mouth and took a bite. Her eyes lit up instantly. After all, what teenager wouldn't like sweets? She spent a pleasant afternoon. Whether it was chocolate or cake, it was her first time eating it. She didn't even notice the passage of time. Just as she was following the maid back to her room, she suddenly heard a muffled, painful roar. He was at his brother's coming-of-age ceremony, having completely cut ties with the family, and used the power of water in front of everyone. As for Michael, he left the Heim dukedom openly and honestly. However, not 2 days after leaving the family, Heim joined forces with other nobles to pressure Belsa. After all, what was taken away was the strongest awakener in the family's history. Even the crown prince personally intervened. This action angered the Duke of Belsa. The butler was long used to this. The crown prince wants the Belsa family to fall, so it's perfectly normal for him to intervene. In order to win over such a powerful awakener, it wouldn't be surprising if he proposed to the young lady. The Duke sneered, proposing to Lieltai is simply absurd. That child has always been treated unfairly at Heim. Now that she has finally seen the light again, how can we watch Belsa's benefactor go back to hell? Aleph, you don't have to give me these kinds of letters in the future. And pass the word down. If anyone continues to send this type of letter, break their hands. At this time, the girl was lying on the bed, unable to sleep for a long time. Her arrival here felt like a dream. Michael, who always cared about her feelings, the approachable Duke of Belsa. She seemed to understand Marilyn's words. Why she said this was a warm home for her. Young lady. I hope that for you, this will also become such a place. Before Marilyn came to Belsa, she was once kidnapped by an assassin organization. If it weren't for Belsa wiping out that organization, she would probably still be living a cruel life. Marilyn looked at her with eyes full of tenderness. I believe you will also grow to love life here. Lieltai couldn't help but be curious. Such a gentle person. In the past life, why was he so angry that he even killed the Empress Dowager? What caused him to become like that? As long as she finds the reason, she should be able to prevent the tragedy before it happens. There must be something that could make the Belsa family lose their minds completely. A major event must have occurred. The roar sounded again. She was sure she wasn't hearing things. It was the same as what she heard in the hallway earlier. Although Marilyn said she didn't hear anything at the time, she thought it was a beast's roar. But the other person said there were no large beasts kept in the mansion. Lieltai looked out the window. She decided to find out what exactly it was. But she didn't expect to run into a guard not long after stepping out. Young lady, why are you out so late? I just couldn't sleep, I wanted to take a walk. Then let me accompany you. No need, don't you still need to be on guard here? It's fine, there are many guards in the shadows. And you are not familiar with the mansion. How could I let you be alone? The guard was so enthusiastic she had to agree for now. Then I'll leave it to you. Thank you. Lieltai headed towards the source of the sound. It should be around here. Just as the trail went cold, she heard the sound again. It was coming from the bell tower. She quickened her pace and walked towards it. She arrived in front of that bell tower. Just as she was about to push the door open, someone called her name. Duke Belsia suddenly appeared behind him. Just the night before, when the girl was following the sound to enter the clock tower, she happened to run into Duke Kaleman. The plan to investigate was shelved. Although he trusted Mikhail, he was still very much a stranger to his father. The Duke was still kind to him. You look like you have a lot of questions. Is there anything you want to know? If I ask, will you answer me? As for that, I can give you something else instead of an answer. He took out a piece of candy. Unfortunately, it was the first time the girl had even seen candy. What is this? Oh, I forgot to explain, this is called a candy. It's very similar to the chocolate we eat today. Would you like to taste it? Lieltai hesitantly reached out and took the candy. Anything she had ever received and used, even this small piece of candy, made her feel very happy. Thank you. You're welcome. After all, you are our benefactor. But then again, it's almost midnight now. Why are you still out here? Lieltai hesitated. Could she tell him the truth? Since you said you didn't hear that sound, then the Duke likely didn't hear it either. However, she could try to probe him. Because I couldn't sleep. What about you, Duke? Were you investigating something at the back of the mansion just now? To her surprise, he avoided her gaze. Yes. He discovered the girl was staring at him. Kaleman smiled. Even if you look at me like that, I have nothing to tell you. Although he didn't lie to Lieltai, the implication was that he wouldn't answer that question. After speaking, he raised his hand and called a shadow guard. It's getting late. Take our benefactor back to her room safely. The girl could feel it. The Duke didn't want her to stay there any longer. It seems he was hiding some secret. The next day, Lieltai was relaxing in the garden. Regarding last night, Lieltai was brought a message. The Duke advised her not to go for walks too late. She lowered her eyes and replied, I understand. Her low mood was lifted by a voice. It was Mikhail. I heard you were in the garden, so I came over. It seems you really like it here. Because it's very spacious. And it makes me feel very free. Being here puts me in a good mood. Mikhail walked to her side and sat down. I'm glad you like it here. He noticed the candy in Lieltai's hand. Where did this come from? Lord Kaleman gave it to me. I ran into him while taking a walk last night. I see. Maybe father carries them with him, specifically to give to you. After all, in our family, aside from me, no one eats candy anymore. Liar Tai also noticed the difference. What do you mean, no one eats candy anymore? My grandfather loved candy. Even though his constitution didn't suit it, he always carried it with him. It was then she remembered. Since arriving at Belcia, she hadn't seen Mikhail's grandfather. At this time, he should still be in confinement. He noticed the shift in Liar Tai's mood. Are you okay? Your expression suddenly looks terrible. Mikhail, actually, I heard a strange sound yesterday. What kind of sound? Like a beast roaring. It seemed to come from behind the ancestral mansion. Mikhail turned his head, seemingly deep in thought. Soon, he stood up. Alright, Liar Tai, get up, where are we going? Weren't you curious about what's behind the mansion? I'll take you to see. Mirlin suddenly blocked their path. You cannot, young master. It's too dangerous there. If the young lady gets hurt. Mikhail, who was blocked, didn't get angry. Instead, he smiled. Mirlin, I appreciate your concern, but saying that makes it sound like you don't trust me. It really makes me sad. I apologize, I was too foolish. He took Liar Tai's hand. I won't let anything I'm worried about happen. Let's go. Liar Tai followed him to the back of the mansion. I hope you won't be too shocked. If anything happens inside, you must stay behind me. Upon seeing the state of Mikhail's grandfather, the girl realized why Belcia declared war on the imperial family in her past life, and why he was known for being cruel and insane. Mikhail took Liar Tai deep into the underground. The further they went, the worse his premonition became. What exactly was down here? Suddenly, she was held by a pair of warm hands. You don't need to be afraid. Aren't I here with you? A tearing, low roar came from ahead. She focused and looked carefully. A man was tied up in the distance, and Mikhail revealed a sorrowful expression. Say hello, Liar Tai. This is my grandfather, Elon Belcia. That person was actually the former head of the Belcia family, but how could he have become like this? Grandfather, he has madness. He was perfectly fine a few years ago. I don't know how it became like this, and we still don't know how to treat him. Theoretically, once a madness patient is discovered, they should be immediately put down. But father only ordered him to be locked up. Bloodshot eyes and fangs like a beast. This symptom triggered the girl's memories from her past life. When the Belcia family started the First War, the imperial family, who received the declaration of war, and the Heim family both didn't think much of it, but as soon as the war started, they were soundly defeated, and the most feared person in the war was the one known as the war demon in death, Mikhail Belcia. Just when people were panicking because they couldn't fight him, the crown prince brought out a black powder. Anyone who inhaled the powder would turn into a mad beast. But at that time, the crown prince did not succeed in poisoning Mikhail. Not long after, an awakened of water discovered that one could use the power of water to purge the black powder from the body. In the past life, the only person who possessed this powder was the crown prince. It must be the crown prince who did this to Elon Birsi. Birsi used this kind of thing. Alan suddenly started acting crazy. He yelled and rushed towards Rieltai. Michael pulled him back from behind, and held him in his arms. Are you okay, young master? Sorry, we heard a commotion outside and went to investigate. We're fine. That's good, but this male Taoist who came with you. Michael waved his hand hurriedly. Your gossiping eyes are really annoying. Shouldn't you greet Rieltai first? So, the two were the messengers responsible for releasing Elon Birsi. The one who spoke just now is Hans. The other is Andre. They owe their lives to Elon Birsi and were taken in by him. Michael looked at him with concern. Are you okay? You don't look very well. I'm fine, I was just a bit startled. But in his heart, he already had a guess. If the crown prince used black powder on Elon Birsi, it must have been through someone he trusted, which means one of these two could be a traitor. At this moment, inside the imperial palace, the crown prince is annoyed that the water awakened, was snatched away by Birsi, to curse Michael. He even went as far as destroying a city, didn't expect him to be taken away like that. Suddenly, a report came in that there was a guest. Which arrogant fool came to see me without even saying hello. The next moment, the door was pushed open. How can you call me a fool? That's a bit too much. The crown prince looked panicked. The person was actually Cowman Birsi. He pointed his gun at his father. but was spotted by the beloved person brought back by his son, just half a day ago. He broke into the palace alone, just to seek justice for the girl. The crown prince looked furious. Duke Beersey, looks like you've finally gone mad. Just because you recruited a water awakened, you don't respect anyone. I think, Your Highness, you have lost your reason. Because you missed out on a water awakened, Cowman Beersey, if you continue to be this arrogant, don't blame me for being ruthless. This warning was completely useless to Cowman. If you send someone to demand I hand over the child again, I won't be polite next time. If there's a next time, it won't be as simple as just breaking the messenger's hand. Please don't force me to do anything more extreme. Are you threatening me? How would I dare to threaten you? I am pleading with you. I hope the Beersey residents won't receive any more letters. After this, watching Duke Beersey come and go from the palace as he pleased, the crown prince was furious. Head Ace, it seems necessary to teach this arrogant guy how to behave. Order them to give my blood position to Elon Beersey. Rieltai fell into deep thought after returning from the inner quarters. Mihail's grandfather was clearly harmed by someone close to him. With his strength and the defenses here, it's hard for strangers to get to him. So, the three he had taken in, Andre, Hans, and Mirlin, are the primary suspects. Mirlin noticed he was acting strange. Miss, what's wrong? You haven't looked well since you came back yesterday. If there's anything I can help with, just let me know. This cannot be dragged on. He looked at Mirlin. Can you take me to Duke Cowman now? And the Duke was currently pointing his gun at his father. Father, I have to send you away from this world today. It has dragged on for too long. But after a long while, he still didn't pull the trigger. The twisted face in front of him overlapped with his memories. Even if he has become like this, he still couldn't do it. Cowman revealed a vulnerable look. Seems today isn't the time either. He had already detected someone approaching from behind. Because there was a little guest today, Rieltai did not hesitate at all. After greeting, he went straight to the point. Although Mirlin said I couldn't come in, I have something I must tell you today. That's why I broke in here. Unexpectedly, the Duke just smiled. Mirlin must be very troubled by you. After all, just like she said, no one is allowed to enter when I'm here. Because there is one thing I must tell you before it's too late. I can cure the madness. This was like a thunderclap to Cowman. You can cure my father? Yes, but because the treatment is quite dangerous. I don't know if you are willing to trust me. Cowman was stunned first and then smiled. You are the benefactor of our Beersey family. Of course I trust you. Thank you. After saying that, he walked towards Elon Beersey. The man started struggling again. Rieltai, don't get too close. It will be dangerous. The girl said it's okay. The power of water in her hands. Massive energy instantly filled the room. Don't worry, I will be fine. He thought he would have to kill his crazy father with his own hands, but because of the girl's appearance, there was a turning point. The water power made the originally manic Elon Beersey gradually calm down. Before his rebirth, the Heim family discovered a way to purify black powder. As long as the water awakens, aura is injected into the patient's body, the madness can be gradually cured. Soon, Mihail's grandfather fell into a deep sleep. He shouldn't have another episode today. Cowman was surprised. Can you really cure my father? This is truly amazing. Can you tell me what is going on? Former head of the family. It's a symptom of black powder poisoning. If an ordinary person is poisoned, they will first enter a state of madness, and then die within a few hours, while an awakened will slowly lose their reason, and become like a beast. How do you know all this? Lielte couldn't say she was reborn. She had to tell a white lie. I saw it in an ancient book, and only those with strong water attributes, awakeners can evolve this factor. I will do my best to cure him. Also, I hope you will keep this a secret from the servants. Since Lielte arrived at the Beersey household, she has been constantly bringing him surprises. So, you have also discovered the culprit who poisoned father. They are among Andre, Hans, and Meilin. The girl nodded. Although it's not certain yet, but if the spy finds out, it will be difficult. Okay, I will keep it a secret. Regarding how to treat the mania, we will follow your method. But I can't come here with you every time, and I can't let you face the danger alone. I will assign a reliable guard to follow you. The next day, as soon as Lielte entered the tower, she saw her new guard. The Duke actually sent his own son, Mikhail. So, you are the guard sent by the Duke. He held Lielte's hand to prevent any danger. I will stay by your side. before starting the treatment, she thought of a new method. Instead of letting him evolve in a manic state, it might be better to try distracting him. She took out a piece of candy. As expected, Alone's attention was drawn to the candy, and when she threw it, he caught the candy in his mouth. Very good, now. This seemingly absurd method actually worked surprisingly well. How did you come up with this method? Didn't you tell me that grandfather likes candy? I believe that although mania can make people lose their sanity, their preferences remain unchanged. Luckily, he is very well behaved when eating things he likes. Mikhail had been observing her, so he knew the treatment process was not easy. Lielte, you are already my benefactor. Even if you didn't risk helping us, Birsay would always protect you. But why do you still do this? Perhaps it's because for the people of the Birsay family, Lord Alone is a very precious person. I don't want to see you sad. Such an answer undoubtedly made Mikhail's heart tremble. Shortly after, the treatment ended. That's enough evolution for today. It will probably take another week for a full recovery. Before that, let's first root out the spy, who tried to harm the former lord. After stabilizing the former lord's condition, Lielte has been looking for clues about his poisoning. It must be something he is accustomed to touching. Just as she was thinking about how to check his room, Mikhail suddenly appeared. Lielte, where are you going? The girl was surprised. Where did you pop up from? I was originally in the Rose Tower. I came down immediately when I saw you pass by. In fact, as soon as he saw Lielte, he jumped down from the tower, ignoring the servants' protests. Are you taking a walk? I was just thinking about something. Actually, there is a place I want to go. Where is it? I want to go to the former lord's room, to see if I can find clues about the mania. After all, it involves the Birsay legacy. He was worried the other party might mind. Of course you can. There is nowhere in this manor you cannot go. Just as he promised in the beginning, you can go anywhere and do anything. Mikhail took her to his grandfather's room. He likely contracted the mania a year ago. The girl noticed the room was kept very tidy. Mikhail said, since his grandfather became ill, nothing in the room has been moved. At this moment, she noticed the ancient books on the bookshelf. She never had a chance to read them when she was in Heim. Mikhail, may I look at these books? Of course you can, but I don't seem to be able to reach them. He was amused by Lielte's cute behavior. Let me help you. Their hands accidentally touched. The girls suddenly turned to look at him. Mikhail asked, why do you have that expression? What's wrong with my expression? Your face seems to be turning red. Is it my imagination? Lielte's heartbeat was much faster than usual. She could even hear the pounding sound, yet she didn't retreat. Instead, she took a step forward. She reached out and hugged Mikhail. Now it was his turn to be flustered. Lielte, why are you doing this all of a sudden? I just think you're so great, so I wanted to do something. Is it weird for me to do this? Even the slowest person would understand what this means. Especially since he already liked Lielte. Not weird at all. It's just that if you want to do something. How about this? He cradled the girl's face and slowly leaned in. But the sudden opening of the door interrupted them. I'm very sorry. Don't mind me, please continue. That was Andrei. Mikhail, who was interrupted, looked displeased, squeezing words through his teeth. Although he replied with a smile, the girl thought to herself, Andrei, you're dead. Why wasn't it Maylin who came here, instead of Andrei? This place is cleaned by the three of them in turns. Mikhail, what is that? That thing. It's the candy grandfather used to like. Although we all advised him to quit sugar, he still eats a few every day. Lielte opened the candy jar. The former lord liked sweets. If this is utilized, she could, without raising suspicion, make him inhale the black powder. Nothing is more suitable for poisoning than candy. Mikhail, I want to see the former lord. Lielte arrived at the tower again. I'll go in by myself from here. Seeing that Mikhail was worried, she reassured him, I just have something to verify. It's okay, trust me. Alright, I'll wait for you. She found Andrei first. After confirming the former lord's room is cleaned by him, Maylin, and Hans in turns, she took out the black candy, and Andrei's reaction confirmed her suspicion. Past life, Duke Talman killed his own father. He thought that was the only thing he could do for him. Later, the Bels family learned that the madness of the former household head was caused by the imperial family. That is why they launched a war. During that war, news of two killers was rampant. The subjects of the rumors were the equally famed Mirlin, and Andrei, whose eyes were like a cat's. Of the three, only Hans was never mentioned. In his previous life, he had never heard of this person, and Hans happened to be inside the tower at this moment. "Miss, why are you here at this time?" "I just wanted to check the condition of the former household head. He is as severe today as usual. But how did Andre let you come in alone? I really need to have a word with him. Looks like you two are close. We have served the former household head together for a long time. So you are also responsible for his diet?" "Andre is responsible for the diet." Lilta took out the candy. "To be precise, I was asking about this candy." Hans's expression changed instantly. Lilta asked again, "I found this in the former head's room. Do you know anything about this candy?" "This is my first time seeing it." "It seems you are still trying to quibble. Isn't this candy what you brought into the Bells household? And you did this to make the former head ingest the black powder." He found out through Andre that the candy was prepared by Hans, and after Aelin had an episode, he still fed him the candy from time to time. Seeing his plot was exposed, Hans dropped the pretense. He grabbed a bottle and rushed toward Aelin Bells. Lilta tried to stop him. Someone rushed over faster than her. Hans was subdued and pinned to the ground. "Sorry, I couldn't keep my promise. I was afraid you would be in danger, so I followed you inside." Indeed, letting such a suspicious person act is not a wise move. "Lord Talman, why are you here too? I heard everything from Michael. I was worried you were in danger, so I rushed here." Yes, he shouldn't be reckless, always thinking of solving things alone. In Bells, he could finally feel what it is like to be valued. Talman dragged Hans up. "Finally, we have flushed out the rat." Michael picked up the bottle nearby. "What is this?" "Poison, but the people of Bells have a certain resistance to poison. Poison is useless against us." "Wait, is this blood?" Lilta guessed that after that thing fused with the black powder, it might have produced a special reaction. "Let me completely cure the former head first, then I will research that." The power of water condensed in her palm. "If things go well, I can completely cure the former head's madness today." He hugged the girl tightly, begging her not to leave him. And Lilta had just cured his people not long ago. Seeing the girl wrap Aelin Bells in water, Talman asked in surprise, "What is going on?" "Do not worry, Duke. Next, I will use this water to treat him." She guessed. The reason Heim could purify the black powder in her previous life was because only the power of water could penetrate deep into the body. Since that is the case, she would let the former head soak his entire body in the power of water. Aelin began to feel uncomfortable in the water. "Please, bear with it a little longer. I will definitely cure you." He struggled endlessly in the water, but soon lost consciousness. The purification reached its final stage. The former head's expression was no longer painful. As the power of water dissipated, Talman exclaimed, "Father can actually stand up." Michael also asked anxiously, "Grandfather, are you alright?" Aelin slowly opened his eyes. "Where is this? Didn't I pass out because of my madness?" His memory was still stuck several months ago. "What is going on? Who are you? I can feel the scent of water on you. Could you be from the Heim family?" Just as Talman was about to introduce Lilta, Aelin interrupted him. "Talman, send her away immediately. Have you forgotten how your mother died? I will never allow anyone from the Heim family to step foot in here." Lilta was stunned for a moment. Michael refused. No matter what you say, I will never send Lilta away. If that is the case, then I will just. What nonsense are you spouting? No, the girl stood up, just as you said. I am not from Bells. I am the one who should leave. The father and son panicked. Lilta, what do you mean by this? We will never let you leave. But I cannot let you lose again. The family you worked so hard to get back. After saying that, the girl turned and left. Michael was about to chase when he was pulled back by Aelin. Where are you going? Grandfather, what are you doing? How could you drive away the person who helped us? She used all her strength to heal me. Aelin looked at him in disbelief. What did you say? That child healed me. He did not remember what happened before at all. A headache accompanied memories surfacing vaguely. During his madness, there seemed to be a voice telling him to bear it a little longer, that it would definitely cure him. That voice gradually overlapped with the girl's face. Only then did he realize what a stupid thing he had just done. It was not that Lilta could not understand Michael's grandfather. It was normal for him to hate her. After all, Heim and Bells have always been at odds. And when the former head was in power, I am afraid the hatred between them was even deeper. So there was nothing to be done about it, but it was still very hard. In the end, there is still no place for her in this world. Lilta, wait. It was Mihal chasing after her. She did not want to cause any more trouble for him, but Mihal grabbed her hand. Lilta, don't go. You are my benefactor. I said I would protect you for the rest of my life. Without you, everything I have will be meaningless. No matter what your grandfather says, you have enough qualifications to stay here. At this moment, another voice came from afar. It was Mikhail's grandfather and Kaleman. To keep the future little daughter-in-law, the Duke, actually wants to drive his father out of the ducal mansion. Even the son is joining in the fun, letting his grandfather go live elsewhere by himself. An island. Birsay had already realized his mistake. He caught up to Lyretai, but the girl didn't want to face him anymore. Sorry, I will leave here now. I am the one who should apologize. Just now, I said those things without knowing the situation. Please, don't take it to heart. I just remembered that for this period of time, you gave your all to treat me. You didn't just help me, you also helped my grandson. I am truly very grateful to you, so I hope you can give me a chance to repay you. Reconsider the matter of leaving here. Rain mixed with tears slid down his cheeks. The girl's expression was even more heartbreaking. Can I really continue to stay here? Island realized once again that he had hurt this kind child. He wanted to make amends. Of course you can. As long as you are willing, you can stay here forever. I don't know if it was because of the relief. Lyretai's body suddenly lost all its strength. She fainted in an instant. Mikhail guarded the bedside. The doctor was checking on the side. It should be because she overused her ability. That's why she fainted. Moreover, her spirit seems to have been tense all this time. As long as she relaxes, she should improve. Mikhail felt even more self-blame. Lyretai, just how much power did you overdraw? At this time, Aleph came to report that there was a letter from the palace. Although it didn't mention anything, but they should know about Lord Island being awake. Island looked disgusted. They should have also received the news that the assassination failed. I don't need to look to guess how they will react. Aleph said again. It didn't just rain on our side last night. The whole empire was raining. I think this should be caused by the young lady's ability. Did she really release that much power? The girl opened her eyes slowly at this time. Lyretai, are you awake? Mikhail, what is going on? You suddenly fainted earlier, so we brought you back. You should rest well for now. If there is anything uncomfortable, you must say it. After you fainted, everyone was very worried. Lyretai. This is when she noticed Mikhail's grandfather was there too. Kaleman began to prepare a big move. If you are still bothered by that old man, I will banish him in the name of the family head. That's right, let grandfather live outside in the future. You continue to live with us. What are you talking about? That. Is your body feeling better? You still need to recuperate now. If I make you feel uncomfortable, I will leave here first. You rest well. But actually, Lyretai didn't blame him. I should be the one asking you. You haven't recovered for long, have you? Is there any place that is not good? The girl's heartwarming greetings made his eyes wet. No, I am fine. That's really great. Unlike the harmonious Birsay, the palace was full of gloom at this moment. The queen broke into the crown prince's palace in a rage. Lucas, you idiot. Island Birsay is not only still alive now, he is even awake. How could you not even handle this small matter? But you can't blame me. My plan was perfect. It's all because a high maid appeared in the middle. So, your plan wouldn't end just like that, would it? I have other ways. This time I will definitely destroy the Birsay family completely. After the ugly girl left the family, Haim's power began to decline. After he controlled the power of water to make the whole empire rain, the power of everyone in the family passed away even faster. Quite the opposite of the atmosphere of Haim and the palace. Early in the morning, the Duke and the former family head were waiting in the garden, watching the sun escort the girl over. Kaleman was still a bit worried. Lyretai, is your body better now? Your Grace the Duke. I am much better. Mikhail's grandfather had a nervous expression. It seems he still cares a lot about what happened before. He took the initiative to greet the former family head. Is your body condition stable now? My body feels very light now. Thank you for your concern. It's all thanks to you. Lily, the girl looked confused. What does Lily mean? This is the language of the small kingdom, where my mother used to live. It represents everything cute, noble and gorgeous things. Father called everything he loved Lily. Lyretai's heart felt a tickling sensation. She liked this name. It turns out that feeling someone else's love is so happy. The teacup is different from before. This tea set is so beautiful. Because there was no cup for you at home, so I specifically ordered a new set. This surely doesn't mean much to the Duke's family, but the more trivial the matter, the more you can see the sincerity. I am very grateful to you all, but you don't have to go through so much trouble for me. Mikhail gently touched her earring. It's not a trouble at all. All of this is what you should enjoy. That's right, no matter what it is. As long as it is what you want to do or want to have, we will fulfill your wishes. If she had any wish now, it would be to treasure this moment forever. She looked at Mikhail beside her, those eyes as bright as rubies. At this moment, he is also watching him. He wants to record this moment in his own way. I think painting is a nice hobby. I will have Mirlin get it ready. Thank you, but by the way, where did Mirlin go? Mihar's voice carried a sense of humor. Mirlin has something to do. Right now, he is in the basement interrogating Hans. Hans confessed that he is one of the Crown Prince's men. A few days before he was caught, he was wandering all over the estate, but no matter how they interrogated him after that, he refused to open his mouth. Hans's actions must not be that simple. In the previous life, after the former family head's funeral, what happened at Bilsai? Soon he recalled. Before Bilsai launched a war against the royal family, a great fire had broken out in the Duke's mansion. Half of the people lost their lives in the fire. This matter must be related to Hans. Are you very worried? Lilte, shall we go investigate together? We can check the places Hans has been. Let's just call it a stroll. Thalman helping his son, that's a good idea. A stroll. You brat. At a time like this, what kind of bad idea are you coming up with? Oh, grandfather, don't you want to take a walk with Lilte? The old man was stunned. Of course he wants to, Mihar. I knew it. Your body hasn't fully recovered today. How about we start tomorrow? He naturally had no objections. Since the former family head could be cured, then this incident should also be avoidable, right? He will surely protect the important people around him. And the people of the Heim family also gradually realized that their power is constantly draining away. All of this is because of Lilte's departure. In the room where the girl once lived, a man was standing there. This person is none other than the gloomy-faced Lien Hughes. He came to ask the girl out on a date with excitement, only to see her in low spirits. Facing Mihar's unconditional trust and support, Lilte decided to tell him about the future. During her time at Bilsai, she experienced a rare sense of relaxation. After the interrogation ended, he also returned to her side. Young miss, I heard you are going for a walk with the masters today. A walk? Reconnaissance would be more appropriate. I never thought that in my lifetime I would still see those three gathered together. Since you arrived, the atmosphere here has become much better. So, what was it like before? Although the masters cared for each other before, it always felt like there was a barrier. So the atmosphere between them was a bit awkward. All of these changes happened only after you came. Mirlin prepared the scroll for her. Have you decided what to paint? This? Lilte thought of Mihar, and his gem-like red eyes. It is still a secret for now. I'll tell you later, okay? I look forward to the day I see your work. I heard you are interrogating Hans. Is there any information? Mirlin found out that the liquid Hans took out earlier was human blood. Based on the magic structure in the blood, it should be the blood of the direct royal line. I think it might be the crown prince's. I mixed the black powder with the blood, and performed an experiment. After merging, the black powder immediately erupted with powerful energy, and subsequently exploded. The conclusion is clear. Hans wanted to feed the former family head the blood at that time, to take his life. If it weren't for you, master, I am afraid by now. Thank you for saving the important family members of Bilsai. I only did what I had to do. After all, the people of Bilsai who are real to me now, are also the people I treasure. Did you get any other information from Hans? According to Andre, Hans has been repeating, today at midnight, since this morning. Could it be that the fire before the rebirth happened today, just as he was feeling restless? Mihar suddenly arrived. Lilte, I've come to pick you up. Seeing this, Mirlin stepped aside. Mihar seemed to be in a good mood. You are very beautiful today too, Lilte. But he soon noticed something wrong with the girl. You don't look very well. Did something happen? If she tells Mihar that a fire might break out at Bilsai, would he believe it? Her only evidence is the memory from before her rebirth. What if the other person thinks she is talking nonsense? But if she doesn't say it, she cannot solve this matter on her own. Lilte. Mihar suddenly knelt on one knee in front of her. No matter what happens, I will stand by your side and support you. So, I hope you won't hide your worries in your heart. Aren't I here by your side? No matter when, I will help you. Therefore, please tell me, Lilte. The girl's tense nerves relaxed at this moment. That's right, this place is different from the Heim family. Here, there are people she wants to protect. They will also always trust her. The girl's tone became firm. I know this may sound ridiculous, but Bilsai might have a disaster tonight. To protect the people he cherishes, Lilte no longer hides the future she knows. She tells Mihar that the Duke's mansion might catch fire tonight. A fire? Could it be Hans? Hans was wandering around the mansion before he was caught. He must be inseparable from the fire. So I plan to inspect the Bilsai mansion, from top to bottom. Mihar didn't ask how she knew, but made a decision immediately. A fire is a very dangerous thing. We must check it as soon as possible. Lilte was a bit surprised. You are actually willing to believe me? Of course, didn't I promise you? Let's also tell father and grandfather. Let's all check together. So this is what it feels like to be trusted unconditionally. Because they had no clue about the fire, Thalmann asked, Lilte, have you thought about how Hans would start the fire? I think he will use ancient magic. The Crown Prince has used it multiple times to attack Bilsai. So, they might be using a similar method this time. The question is how he plans to cast the curse. Just like how he once carved a mark on Mikhail's eyes. Curses and sorcery must be activated through a medium. So, somewhere in the Bels estate, it must be hidden. The medium is right here. Although Hans has been to many places with suspicious behavior, he stayed the longest near this lake. According to the scouts, he even went directly into the lake. I'll go take a look. The girl walked to the lakeside, lifted her skirt, and stepped into the water. Bels, that's dangerous. When the two looked closely, they realized the girl was surprisingly standing on the surface of the water. Mikhail's face was full of amazement. She can actually walk on water. Is this the Heim family's ability? I'm afraid only Lily can do that, father. The girl waved from a distance. I'm fine. You don't need to worry. I'm going to explore the depths of the lake. She walked across the water, like a fish jumping out of the surface. But one look showed she was moving with total ease. Hans not only lingered around here, but also entered the lake. It seems there might be something underwater. She lost her footing, and stepped into the water. The water in this spot was not under her control. Looks like this is the place. Indeed, there was a stone with ancient runes in the water. A splash sounded. The girl sat on the water. I found it. This is the medium for some curse Hans left behind. Even Kale Man, who usually never shows his emotions, frowned deeply. First, he cursed Mikhail, causing father to suffer from madness. Now, he intends to set fire to the Bels estate. This is going too far. I'm afraid Hans has placed more than one medium in this estate. There's no time. Bels looked at the setting sun. He clearly said tonight at midnight. Duke, I have a request. I hope that you will have everyone evacuate the estate as soon as possible. Should we send the knights to find the media? No, there might be decoys among them. And to prevent them from detonating prematurely, it's faster if I handle it. Mikhail, quickly, take me to all the places Hans has been. Mikhail hesitated. I'm afraid I'll have to carry you to move around. Would you mind? It might be a bit rough during travel. It's inconvenient to take a carriage. This way, searching will be faster. Bels did not refuse, and held him with both arms. All right, hurry up then. It was clearly his own suggestion, but when she actually agreed, he felt shy. I will find and destroy the media as soon as possible. Aaron looked worried. You might get hurt in the process. Don't push yourself. It's fine, everyone trusts me unconditionally. I also want to live up to your expectations. The girl said with a firm look, I will definitely protect this place. He once thought he would be the girl's salvation, but in this moment he realized, he was the one being saved. To avoid the fate of the Bels estate burning in the past life, Bels asked Mikhail to take him to the places Hans frequented, by the fountain and the reservoir. Mikhail crushed another spell charm. This is the 8th one. To think he buried so many. There should be 3 more places left. He picked up Bels. We need to be quick. It's getting dark. As long as they destroy a few more, they can stop the fire. But the sound of an explosion in the distance told them. They failed. Bels' voice trembled. Behind them, raging flames erupted. The estate is on fire. Something was missed. Mikhail gently gripped her shoulder. It'll be fine, Bels. Father must have already evacuated everyone from the estate. A fire of this size will be extinguished soon. No one will get hurt. But Bels was filled with anxiety for not finding all the media. Moving to the explosion site, this fire was even larger than before. Even Mikhail showed a look of shock, because that area is the restricted land containing the death power of the Bels family. If this power were released, what would happen? Mikhail was rarely this serious. The power of death poses no threat to direct descendants who have awakened, but to ordinary people, it would be fatal to even touch it slightly. Even for members of the Bels family, they would never approach that area. If there were any mistake, the power of death could spread throughout the entire empire. They wouldn't cause such a big problem, just to kill commoners or soldiers. Therefore, Bels, their target is you. Only then did the girl remember. In her past life, only the estate was burned down, because her future was changed. Bartos suddenly appeared. Young master, the power of death is about to be released. My lady, you must leave here as soon as possible. Bels immediately sensed something wrong with his words. Am I the only one leaving? Yes, the young master will be fine, but you cannot resist the power of death. Fortunately, we have an awakener who can teleport over long distances. She can safely send you away. Barto, then what about you all? What about Maylin and the others? Seeing Barto stunned, her suspicion was confirmed. She would be the only one leaving. What about the others in the estate? How could I run away alone? Barto forced himself to smile, but that smile looked worse than crying. Everyone else will leave here too. You don't need to worry too much. Because of her interference, the future did not get better, but instead, more people will have to sacrifice themselves. This realization sent Bels into a panic. He was so agitated that he kept lying. Not all members of the Bels family have evacuated yet. The fire will reach the woods first. I will never flee alone. I am going to put out the fire. The fire is too big. Even if you bring all the water in Bels here, it would still be hard to extinguish. Leertai, this fire was caused by ancient magic. It won't be easily put out. You might be in danger. But I cannot just stand by and watch everyone die. Michael, I promised you I would protect the Bels family. The medium for the fireflies is stored in the water, because Bels water is an offering to ancient magic. In other words, you cannot put out the fire with water from here. Then, all he has to do is summon the dragonflies with all his might. A torrential rain began to fall. The surrounding fire began to subside. Michael watched this silhouette in total shock. In the beginning, he said he would protect Leertai. He thought he was the girl's salvation. But in reality, Michael couldn't take his eyes off her for a second. From the young girl who looked back at him in the rain, he saw true strength and gentleness in her eyes. From the moment he first saw Leertai, he was the one who was saved. Michael was like someone poisoned by the name Leertai. From the moment he opens his eyes every day, he thinks of the girl. The young couple's situation is progressing smoothly, while the cruel father has already begun planning against the emperor. After the girl left the family, the palace, the younger brother went crazy. He stays in his room every day, but even if he is an imposter, he is still the strongest in the family, so they still need Lyanxius, but they need Leertai even more. He advised, write another letter to the Bels family, maybe we can get a reply this time. The patter of rain comes from outside the window. As the rain continues to get heavier, his body suddenly starts to change, exactly like the previous symptoms. The power of water is gradually fading. No, if even this power disappears, Lyanxius seems to have thought of something, so that's how it is. It seems there won't be any awakened ones in the Heim family soon. Unlike the previous life, there were no casualties in the Bels fire this time. Peace has returned to the estate. It's great to be able to protect this place, but strangely, even after summoning such heavy rain, he doesn't feel like his body has exhausted its energy. He can feel the water power rising within him, as if it had returned to his body. Leertai realized, she might have taken the powers of everyone in the Heim family. A faint sound came from nearby. She looked in the direction of the sound. It was a small silver fox. The girl just crouched down, and the little fox rubbed against her. So cute, where did you come from? Are you lost? A voice came from behind, so here you are. Michael had come to find her again. Hello, Leertai, taking a walk? Yes, I came out to get some air. By the way, is this silver fox yours? It belongs to the Heim ducal estate. Michael told her about the time during the hunt, when he got the silver fox. Of course, he left out the part about provoking Lyanxius. I was worried that if you saw this silver fox, you would be reminded of your time at the Heim family, and those terrible memories. So I hadn't made up my mind, and I haven't fully trained it yet. Really? It's so gentle and cute. Does it still need training? It's actually quite fierce. It must like you, that's why it's so well behaved. Do you also like this fox? She rubbed the fox in her arms. I really like it, it's so cute. I'm glad you like it, but are you feeling okay? If your grandfather and father knew you were out walking alone, they would surely nag you endlessly. I'm fine, they are both too worried about me. Miho looked at her quietly. Leotai, do you know, I am the one who is most worried about you. That person. Actually, I hope you never get into any danger again, but I know very well that if the same thing happened again, you would still make the same choice. In the future, please face it with me like you did this time. I hope you remember, no matter what happens, I will be by your side to protect you. Even if it's a sea of swords and fire, I won't be afraid. Because to me, Leotai is the most important. Every time she wants to do something, even if it's very dangerous, Miho never forcefully stopped her. This person never restricts her freedom. He respects her wishes and chooses to face it with her. This sentiment always makes her feel relieved and warm. Just then, Aleph suddenly arrived. My lady, the young master and the duke want to see you. As soon as Leotai arrived, Kalerman enthusiastically asked about the girl's health. Her son went straight to the point. What did you want to discuss with us? The duke smiled. I think it's time to pay the debt. Do you mean the debt regarding the palace? Exactly, Lily. I intend to set the palace on fire. It saved the Bels ducal estate from being destroyed. At the same time, it accelerated their revenge. Kalerman decided to burn the palace. They also have informants planted within the imperial family. If you don't think burning it down is satisfying enough, would you like to capture everyone involved in the arson incident? Interrogate them, Lily. We can do whatever you want. Father, isn't that too cruel for Leotai? Kalerman laughed. Lily is also a member of our family. She will have to get used to these things sooner or later. Given what the imperial family has done so far, nothing that happens to them is a pity. But I beg you not to let innocent people get hurt. That goes without saying. Lily, I have something else to tell you. Ever since that day when I summoned the rainstorm, my power not only didn't fade, but it became fuller. So I suspect that I might have taken the power of the Heim family. Michael and his father looked at each other and smiled. So that's how it is. The Heim family has lost the water power. That is truly good news. I'm actually quite curious about how the royal family will react once they know. The Bilsei are too curious. What will happen if the royal family finds out? I don't think the royal family will let them off easily. For a long time, the royal family has been catering to the Heim family, because if awakened ones defect to other countries, it will become very troublesome. The Heim family uses this point to suppress the royal family. If Heim loses their power, the royal family will most likely retaliate against them. The Heim family has been attacking the Bilsei for a long time, mainly to keep us in check. If the Heim family no longer has the power to keep us in check, I wonder how they will be treated. Anyway, this is not something we should worry about. We just need to watch them slowly reveal themselves. Inside the palace, the crown prince is still immersed in the joy of Bilsei being destroyed in one fell swoop. A long-cherished wish that emperors of previous generations couldn't settle, was solved just like that, and because he used a lot of ancient power, his body was very weak, but it was worth it to destroy Bilsei. Unexpectedly, a servant suddenly came to report. The fire in Bilsei was extinguished very quickly. He was in disbelief. How is it possible? That fire could not be extinguished easily. I heard it hadn't been burning for long. When it was extinguished by a heavy rain, ordinary rain cannot extinguish that fire. Only the Heim family has the ability to do that. Was it that woman who ruined my plan again this time? Lucas didn't expect her power to be so strong. I must find a way to get my hands on that woman, even if it means letting her take the position of crown princess. You go and investigate that lady's life in Heim, as well as the things she likes or dislikes. An explosion sound came from behind you. He looked back. The palace was engulfed in flames. Crown Prince, Your Highness. His Majesty the Emperor orders you to go to the main hall immediately. The main hall was not affected by the fire, but the Emperor's tone was clearly displeased. Lucas, I received a report that the Crown Prince's palace is on fire, and it is not an ordinary fire. Even the water in the palace cannot extinguish it. If left unchecked, It will eventually spread to the entire palace. The crown prince panicked. He stammered and couldn't say a complete sentence. I'm asking you, did you provoke the Bilsei first? I told you not to provoke the Bilsei family. Even now, Lucas still had no response. He only hated that his plan failed. Everything was going smoothly in the beginning. As long as they were eliminated, the biggest threat to the royal family would no longer exist. But his father always warned him not to provoke the Bilsei. I have already sent a request for support to the Heim family. They will arrive soon. You must treat them with respect. If you make this kind of mistake again, I will never forgive you. The crown prince accepted the order. He calculated that once the Duke of Heim extinguished the fire, everything would settle down immediately. He had to find a way to get the Duke of Heim's daughter into the palace. A servant reported that the Duke of Heim had arrived, but there was a problem. The messenger looked uneasy. The Duke of Heim declared that he would not extinguish the fire. The Heim family, who sacrificed their youngest daughter for power in their past life, have finally received their retribution in this new life. The carriage stopped in front of the burning palace, but no one got out to fight the fire, because their water power had disappeared. Low-level awakened turned completely into ordinary people. Although the direct descendants still had some power left, they were reaching their limit. If they used their ability one more time, they would also become the non-awakened ones they once despised. Yet at this moment, they received an order to extinguish the fire. Father, we should get off, shouldn't we? We have arrived at the palace as ordered. Next, we must declare to them that we will not intervene in the problems between the royal family and the Bilsei family. What exactly do you want to do? Just as I said, we will not use our abilities, but the royal family has already ordered it. Do you want to risk becoming a non-awakened one for a fire that is not certain to be extinguished? This is a problem between the royal family and the Bilsei. We just need to declare that we will not intervene. This is the best choice we can make at the moment. Does anyone know the whereabouts of Turayan? We don't know. After the fire, the royal family said they hadn't seen him either. What useless things. Where on earth did he go in this situation? Suddenly, a report came from outside. His Majesty the Emperor's knights have arrived. Duke Heim, long time no see. I heard you don't intend to put out the fire. It's not that I don't understand the Heim family's position. Interfering in the affairs of the royal family and the Bilsei family might cause trouble, but I have some doubts about whether you really don't want to extinguish the fire, or if you are unable to extinguish it, use your water power immediately now. The Duke of Heim was stunned on the spot. Could it be that the Emperor has sensed something? Didn't you hear what I said? What are you standing there for? I order you to use your ability immediately. He had no choice but to agree. But how would you like me to demonstrate my water power? That greenhouse over there is a place unrelated to the Crown Prince. You just use your water power to extinguish the fire there. He looked at his third son, Huimin. You use your water power to extinguish the fire. He looked shocked, but he had no choice but to do it. There was a small amount of water power left in Huimin's body. The power gathered in his palm with difficulty. He could feel it. The water power in his body would soon cease to exist. A light rain started to fall on the greenhouse. His power was like a candle in the wind. It completely disappeared. Lian looked at him coldly. Huimin Heim is finished. He has become a non-awakened one. Is this proof enough now? I have fully witnessed the power of the water power. However, only the third young master of the Heim family demonstrated his ability. Now it's your turn, Duke Heim. As long as you use your power in front of everyone, even if you don't put out the fire, I will dispel my doubts about you. Only then did the Duke of Heim realize they had been played. The Emperor might have been convinced from the beginning that they had lost their power. The reason the Heim family could control the empire was not because of their wealth, nor because of their political ability, and even less because of outstanding military achievements, but because of their family's powerful water ability. If everyone in the Heim family lost their abilities, I can't imagine how the Emperor would retaliate against them. Start, Duke. But he was already riding a tiger and could not get off. He had no choice but to start using the water power. Suddenly the sky was covered with dark clouds. A rumbling sound came from the air. He looked up. Above the imperial palace, there appeared a magic circle filled with an ominous aura. Months after the youngest daughter left the family, the Heim family found a way to bring her back. Once by the water spirit king, another sealed spirit king awakened. His name is Retrospection. Just a few minutes ago, while the Emperor was out of the palace forcing the Heim family to use their water power, Tyrion snuck inside the imperial palace. He went deep underground, searching for an entity hidden by the crown prince, found the woman exuding an ominous aura, floating in the air, different from last time. She opened her eyes. It seems you have finally awakened. Who on earth are you? The woman smiled. I am Retrospection. Tyrion was stunned. Tyrion immediately thought of the possibility. Hope ignited in his heart. So you can turn back time to the past. Although it will consume a lot of power, I can do it. That's truly amazing. It was worth following the crown prince all this time. There is the scent of water on you. Are you someone who possesses water power? Yes. Retrospection's face looked ferocious. I smell a scent of falseness on you, Tyrion thought. You must be referring to Lien, the water spirit king. What about him? I need this person to find my other half. Then I can be reborn as a complete spirit king. By doing so, you can turn back time to any period you want. This temptation was too great for Tyrion, because this way, he could return to the days when Lieltai was still in the Duke's mansion. Fine, I agree, but in exchange, you must provide evidence that can make me happy. The palace is on fire right now. If you can turn back time to before the fire started, I will believe you. Retrospection was unwilling. If I do as you say, I will have to sleep for several more months. I won't let you wait that long. As long as I bring that fake here, these won't be problems anymore. Very well, I accept this deal. As a loud noise came from outside, Tyrion felt a powerful force. I will wait for you to bring him. After saying this, Retrospection fell back into a deep sleep. A magic circle emitting an ominous aura appeared in the sky. Just when everyone was confused, the magic circle suddenly disappeared, as if it had never appeared. Your Majesty, the fire in the palace has been completely extinguished. What? You say the fire is all out. This is good news. Failing to witness the Heim family's ability with my own eyes is such a pity. Then I look forward to next time, Duke Heim. By then, you won't be able to evade it like you did today. Even the eldest son could tell. The Emperor is convinced that the Heim family has lost their power. No matter what, Lieltai must be brought back. We cannot delay any longer. But we haven't received a reply from Lien yet. The Duke was furious. How rigid. Not receiving a reply. Then you should just barge in and bring her back. Tyrion had no choice but to agree. He couldn't believe his father was still the same as in the past. He had hoped the family would be harmonious and united. But in fact, they are now left with nothing but suspicion and hostility. Older brother, you've finally returned. Tyrion, where did you go just now? The younger brother said. I just went to handle some business. In this situation, how can you still laugh? I'm actually very happy right now. I will bring Lieltai back to Heim. He looked at Lien, who was silent on the side, and Hugh Lien. As long as you agree, I have a way to bring her back. Because I found an important key. Lien was stunned. Then he fell into ecstasy. I'm willing to do anything. As long as Lieltai can be brought back. Betrayed and sacrificed by loved ones in a previous life. He once thought he would be trapped in a cage of hatred for his whole life, but didn't expect that in the past, the notoriously evil family would find salvation. The silver fox given by Mikhail is just like him, likes to stick to Lieltai everywhere, and is only cute and well-behaved in front of her. To the outside world, it's a lawless personality, wishing to cause 800 troubles a day. Lieltai, the painting you made is so beautiful. Can you tell what I painted? Of course, it's the sea. That's right, this is the first time I saw the sea, when I was at Heim. I always wanted to see the outside world. Mikhail took me to see the sea. That sea has stayed in my mind ever since. After it's done, I can help you frame the painting. Lieltai smiled gently. Actually, I want to give my first painting to someone. Mikhail was discussing things with Balto, when he heard a familiar voice. He looked back. Lieltai, you're here, is there anything you need? I want to give this to you. This is the sea we visited together, and also my first painting. I painted it wanting to give it to you. Can I really accept this? Of course, thank you Lieltai. This is the best gift I've ever received. I will definitely cherish it. Balto asked in surprise, is this your first painting? Miss, your mastery of color is very skillful. Mikhail agreed, I feel the same way, you have a lot of talent in this area. Do you want to try entering a competition? Do you want to try entering the competition? Nobles can participate anonymously, where you can freely display your work. I assert that in the future, you will definitely achieve great success in this field. Before being reborn, she had also heard of this event. The empire has one Grand Duke and 3 dukes. Grand Duke Elos is the Empress Thalencia's favorite. The other 3 are Duke Haim, who possesses the power of water, Duke Bilsai, of the power of death, and Duke Harun, who is shrouded in mystery. It is said that Duke Harun is a judge for the competition. He goes by the pseudonym Jan Walker. If she enters the competition, she might be able to meet him. This would also be helpful for Bilsai. Fine, I will participate. Liar Tai, is there anything you want lately? I don't think so. Then I will decide for myself. Decide what? Michael just smiled. It's a secret. Although I don't know what it is, I will look forward to it. At this moment, Liar Tai suddenly sensed a powerful force. She and Michael looked up at the sky at the same time, but saw nothing unusual. What's wrong, you two? Did the sky get dark just now? I felt it too. It felt like there was a strong energy. Liar Tai felt a chill. I have a bad premonition. Michael held her and reassured her, it should be nothing serious. You don't need to worry too much. However, today is the day their people burned down the imperial palace. Could it have something to do with this? Contrary to her bad premonition, it remained peaceful for the next few days. During this time, she kept practicing her drawing. She also gradually adapted to life at Bilsai. The smiles on Liar Tai's face became more frequent. If it were back in the Haim family, she would never have imagined these things happening. Now, even if she thinks back to Haim, she no longer feels angry. She no longer cares about what happens to Haim. Excuse me, miss, could you come for a walk in the garden with me? The sun is bright, and the garden is full of life. The weather is so nice. Yes, it is. It seems even the sky wants to celebrate someone's special day. Liar Tai wondered, what special day? Please, come this way. As she saw what was ahead, she was so surprised that she stood still. Standing not far away were the Duke, her grandfather, and Michael. Come here quickly. Michael looked at her with a beaming face. Happy birthday, Liar Tai. Her birthday is also the anniversary of her mother's death. Even though she and Lianxiu were twins, everyone defaulted to blaming her for her mother's death. When Lianxiu celebrated her birthday, she could only hide alone in a dim room, and her younger self back then thought all of this was only natural, because she killed her mother, so she had never heard anyone wish her a happy birthday, and no one had ever told her this. I want you to, on this birthday, see the blueberry fields that symbolize your name. We bought all the blueberry fields in the empire. Do you like it? How could I not like it? The people looking at her with warm eyes, and the people who sincerely wished her a happy birthday, were experiences she never had in her past life. Liar Tai, meeting you is the greatest fortune of my life. Thank you for being born into this world. This is the first time someone has said on her birthday, your birth is not a sin. Liar, thank you for being part of our family. Can I really be? Can she be this happy? Of course, you've long been our family. If it weren't for you, Bilsai wouldn't be where it is today. I am also very happy to be able to celebrate your birthday. Every year from now on, let's celebrate your birthday here. The girl's tears, like broken pearls, kept rolling down from the corners of her eyes. That scared the father and son. Liar, why are you crying? It's nothing, it's just because I'm too happy. Happy enough that she could never forget this day in her whole life. No matter how bad things happen in the future, she could rely on this memory to live through the rest of her life. Michael poked his head out. Wait, there are other surprises waiting for you. The former head of the family gave her a ring with the family seal. As long as you have this, no matter where you go, you can buy anything in my name. Karlman exclaimed, Father, have you gone mad? But he remained calm and unbothered. The gifts were land deeds and employment contracts. Now the land and the people here are all yours. Maylin gifted her a necklace she made by hand. Even Barto and Andre prepared gifts. Finally, it was Michael's turn. He escorted Liar Tai back home to join the surprise party. You must be exhausted. Not at all, I'm very happy. Thank you for bringing me back. Michael smiled like a sly fox. What are you saying? Hasn't the most important part ended yet? I have prepared 17 gifts for you. Liar Tai looked at everything in front of her in disbelief. Michael urged, open it and see. She picked up a gift. This is for 4-year-old you. These are all gifts for you at different ages. Although a bit late, I want to celebrate all the birthdays you missed out on. The trauma she suffered in her childhood seemed to be healed at this moment. The gifts Michael gave her younger self made her feel that her past self had also been redeemed. The scars might not disappear, but they can be covered and filled with happiness. And for Liar Tai, Mihal is her best gift. After this painting competition, father wants to hold a coming-of-age ceremony for you, but the date for the coming-of-age ceremony has already passed. It doesn't matter, if the Bilsai family wants to hold it again, no one would dare to object. Liu Tai decided to accept this kind gesture. As you wish, but the Taoist might come back. Many people, including Haim. Is that okay too? It's okay. They mean nothing to me anymore. Meanwhile at the Haim Duke's mansion, they finally received a reply from Bursa, but it was not from Liu Tai. Instead, it informed them that in a few months, a coming-of-age ceremony would be held for Liu Tai again. They cannot confirm for now whether the Elf King will awaken. With their current strength, going to Bursa would not only fail to bring Liu Tai back, but it might also cause them to lose face. Aang asked her father, "So, are we still going?" Lion, on the side, suddenly spoke up, "What are you hesitating for? Of course we must go." With a crazed look on his face, he added, "As Liu Tai's true family, we must attend his coming-of-age ceremony with our heads held high."